Hi everybody, let's do the front cover to our 4x8 by 2 inch spine Curiouser and Curiouser mini album paper collection by G45, and this is an ASCSupplies.com ASCCraftSupply.com design team project. The link is in the description box below. And let's get going on this. So I cut my piece of pattern paper at 4x8. And once you put the cover on, your cover ends up being a little bit bigger than 4x8, so we're going to have just a little bit of a border showing. And I love this red pattern with the cream colored hearts, and then I cut a frame out from the signature page. So this is one of the little frames that goes around the signature page. So I'm going to ink it up because there is some white showing, and I think this one may be a little too long. So I'm kind of excited. We're going to try a shaker, which is kind of new for me. And we're going to use the rabbit hole mix-em-ups that ASC creates. They're one of a kind. They mix them by hand, and I think it's going to be perfect. Okay, now we're going to have some seams here, but we're going to try and not show them as much and or cover them up with some of the ephemera. Okay, so we're going to leave just a bit of the border showing on the outside, and this is just to add some interest. If you cut it at an angle, sometimes it's less noticeable. Okay. And then cut a little bit more off down here. I hope you guys are enjoying my new lighting. I know I am. I can see. I'm going to place it kind of get it straight, and then the last piece is going to go here. We're going to have to cover this bottom corner just fine. I like adding the frames to the covers. I think it just adds a lot of interest, and I like using the ephemera and the fussy cut images. Okay. Now for the title, I wanted to use this cut apart. Let's go ahead and take the gold border off of the bottom and top. I don't think we need that, and then we may mat it on black. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. It's kind of blending in. If I put it on black, that's the same size. I have a million pieces of paper in here. One of them has to fit. There we go. It doesn't make that big of a difference, but it makes a little bit of difference. So let's go ahead and add that. And we'll add some bling and stuff too, so that's kind of the title, right? And I think I want to pop that up. So we're going to have some dimension on here already. So I have some 3D foam strips, and this is going to be what I use for the shaker portion. Let's see if I can find. I have some black craft foam I can use for this. And this I just got at the dollar store or something a long time ago, but it comes in handy. Especially when you're doing albums. When you're doing a card, or when I'm doing a card at least, I don't mind the colors, the foam dots not matching, but on an album cover, I kind of want them to match. So this is the frame we're using. Make sure that I have good placement. That works for me. Okay, now that's popped up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and move it a little bit further up so it covers that entire seam on that frame. And then I have our main image, and this is going to be part of the shaker. So let's place that where we want it. That's fine. And then Alice is going to be falling on the front cover, and I want her kind of off to the side. I just want to make sure that all this glue, if any seeps out, dries before we put any of the shaker elements in. Good. And then I have some of the roses that I fussy cut from the signature sheet. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the 3D foam all around here. I want to do something with this bottom corner. Let's look to see what we have. And then there's little nubs here. Let's get those off of the chipboard before we put it on there. Just a couple. I don't remember if there was like another piece in there or not. Okay, so for the bottom right hand corner, we have some pop. They look like, that looks like a poppy. I'm not sure if that's a poppy or not. Tweedledee and Tweedledum's a bit large. We got cut parts and some chipboard. We may have to do, yeah, that's too big. Let's see what kind of stickers we have. How about just a heart sticker? Or how about one of these corner stickers? I'm going to put one there. And then we can put one up here. We have 4, so potentially we can put more, but let's see what it looks like. Oops. There we go. Okay. That's good. It covers up the areas that we wanted to cover up. And now for the 3D foam. And again, this is from asccraftsupplies.com. I just got some white in a haul that I posted this week. Not this week for you, but this week for me. So, just gonna make sure we get complete coverage, and we're going around the entire frame. This is like shaker cards made easy, or shakers made easy. Okay. And all you gotta do is make sure that we don't have any holes, or the shaker stuff will fall out. We don't want that. Okay. One more. All the way to the end. And make sure there's no holes. Perfect. Okay, so this is the acetate I have, and there's, I think there is, and I had to go search for this, by the way. I could not find my stuff. There is a film on it, which is nice because it was all scratched up. If it wasn't film, it would have been all scratched up. And I hope there's some on this side too. And this ends up being a 3x5 piece, by the way. Maybe there's not on this side, which is kind of silly, but I'm going to go ahead and glue it to the frame though. Okay, all glued down. Going to put some weight on that so it adheres. Several things. Okay, that's up there being squished. Okay, so this is the handmade mix-em-ups from ASC Supplies, asccraftsupplies.com. It's in the link below, and it's wonderful. It has chess pieces and big hearts. I wanted to check my I think if we're going to use the hearts, I'm going to need another layer of foam, so I think we're going to leave the hearts out of the shaker part. But they are big enough to pick up, so. And, oops, but they're so cute. They've got little cards. I'm going to take the spades out. The chess pieces are a little too big. So we're going to have a nice fun mix of little red beads, black sequins, and red sequins. And I want to put enough in there that you can see it. I'm going to take out the big, thicker pieces. And we'll use those on a different project, or we can use them on the outside too. Okay. But lots of fun there. I was thinking about getting gold, something gold, but I don't think we need to. Okay, I got all the thicker pieces out. Oops. I love the, like the sequins. It doesn't have a hole in it. I like that. Okay, and then there's little sprinkles. All right. All right, so we're gonna peel the backing off of these strips. Careful not to upset the shaker mix that we just put in it. And again, I love the fact that the strips are black. Okay, this should be nice and glued down now. And I'm going to put some extra glue on the strips because the cardboard, the chipboard is kind of curling. Now, I will not shake this anytime soon because I don't want any of the shaker mix to stick to the glue. I got some over there. And there is a right side and wrong side to this frame. So that is going to be how it sits. And then I have, I'm going to have to weigh it down again. But before I do that, I wanted to put this on the inside, but now we're just going to cut some off of the top and bottom, and we'll stick it right to the outside there. This is one of the stickers. It's a clock. And I just thought it'd make a cute embellishment on the outside of that frame. Okay, now it's time to weigh it down again because the chipboard's curling. It's going to be so fun. And then while that is being weighed down over here, I'm going to cut for the spine and the back cover. So 2x8, I'm going to put these bigger pieces back in here. And I definitely could have used them. I could have put them in the, I could have put another layer of foam on. So, but we will use those, and I'm going to have to get some more. I have a whole half a pack left, but I think I'll have some more shakers that I may want to do with this collection. So that'll be fun. And so I need 2x8 for the spine and 4x8 for the back cover. And then we can decorate. I'm thinking, how about keeping it simple? 4x8 for the spine. I'm sorry, for the back cover. And then 2x8 for the spine. And we could use the same, or we can use the solid red. Let's use the solid red. Not that there's a whole lot of difference. And then we'll design also while that's drying. Whoops. Okay. That's the back, that's the spine. And when Eunice from the group, from the Facebook group, one of Crystal's many customers, who creates beautiful, beautiful projects and shares them with us. Thank you so much, Eunice, for doing that. She put a keyhole on hers, and I definitely want a keyhole on mine now. So I went through my stash and I found my Tim Holtz keyhole. So the spine, we're going to put the keyhole on. And let's do, let's see if we have anything. There's a key. Another key. I've used some. We have some flowers, hearts, more butterflies. This little teapot's really cute, but it kind of is the same as the front cover because it's her falling. How about that on the back cover? And the key at the bottom here with the keyhole. We'll do that. I'm going to go ahead and put that key on there. It's not going to hurt. And glue this on. And then we're going to pull that back over here so I can glue the keyhole on. It's going to take a while. I guess that this is supposed to go this way because the butterflies are flying up. And let's see if there's anything that says that has a little saying or something on it, or has the name of the collection on it. Every adventure requires a first step. The front cover has the Curiouser and Curiouser on it. We can put that on there. We'll put that on there. Yeah, I don't want to put it right across from that. That's okay. We'll leave that one off. Okay, so I'll bring my book back over. We're going to glue everything down, and then we'll let it sit. We'll let it sit. We're going to let that dry and be weighted down. We're going to let the keyhole dry, and then I have some bling that we can stick on there. My Ultra Bond adhesive has pretty much already worked on that. Card chipboard. It is. I wasn't supposed to shake it, guys. Damn. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. Can't help myself sometimes. If there's some stuck to the edge, it'll be fine. Go. I should dry fit this first. Horrible, horrible person. Okay. You figure if the front cover fit, then this one should fit, right? Okay. Extra adhesive down here. Alright, we're going to layer flat. Put this keyhole on with E6000. I prefer the small tubes V6000. Crystal sells it on ASC Supplies, craftsupplies.com. Because it doesn't dry out, but it oozes and stuff. It's not the friendliest of adhesive, and if you get a small one, I think they're like $2 a piece. If you get a small one and it oozes and or dries out or whatever, oh well. Does not matter. I have a goober here. Okay, I think I got the goober. We're going to place it and we are going to leave it. Let it sit. Leave it alone. We can add more later. I'm telling myself that's why I'm talking like that. We can add more later. Okay. Some plastic trays. We're going to put over the items. And then we are going to put heavy things on top of the items. On top of the trays. To weigh the items down. Like that. And we're going to walk away. We'll be back. Okay, we waited a little while. Just wanted to finish up the front cover with some more bling, and we've been using this bling with all of the Alice albums. Let's do, I don't want a whole lot, we'll do maybe here. See if I can get it to work. How about right there? I have some extra adhesive since I've been cutting on this. And we'll start in the corner. And let it lay. We can do two things. We can cut where it's overlapping, or we can just let it sit. This one, if I can stick it back in there, I will. There we go. The rest should be okay. Just add a little bling there. And then I think that's probably all we need. If I would have thought about it, I would have put an image in the keyhole. It is unfortunately too late now, but that would have been kind of cool to put like one of the little images that I cut out of the back of the ephemera package. That would have been neat, but that's okay. We're good with this. Alright, so front cover, back cover, and spine are done. And it shakes. Super happy. Let's start some pages. Okay, heading to the inside cover. This is one of my favorite papers, and this rose is one of my favorite images, so I don't want to cover it up. So we're going to leave the front cover kind of plain. Surprise! And we're running out of 7.5 inch tall paper, or, you know, so we're going to have to start thinking about ways to make things shorter by adding pockets and stuff. Maybe using some cream colored paper. I did not tuck that corner in very well. I think I forgot to tuck all my corners in. Oh well, you'll have that sometimes. Everything be all right. Okay. So we're leaving the inside page plain like that. The inside cover. And then our first page, we're going to go ahead and add a flap, and we're going to add a full 7.5 inch flap. I know, what did I just say? We have to be careful with our paper because we're running low, but I'll cut that down a little bit. It's a little bigger than the page. And that's better. So this is a 3.5 by 7.5 inch flap. Make sure I put it on the right way and that I'm not backwards. And then I wanted to do a diagonal pocket. So I just cut this at 4x4, scored at a 1/2 inch on 2 sides, and then cut it in half. So it ends up being a 3.5 by 3.5 diagonal pocket. And then we're going to find a sticker to put on it. You don't have to trim the ends because there will be something going into it, but you can if you want. I'll go ahead and trim my ends just in case. Just in case my stuff doesn't fit as well as I think it should. And then, because wet glue would probably be best. So I can get into this crease here. Okay. And that's going to go in the corner. And then I wanted to I could have put that sticker on beforehand. Let's use the sticker. We can use the butterfly sticker. We can use one of these flowers. I think one of the flowers. I'm going to go ahead and put the border sticker here, and I cut it the wrong way. I still cut it the wrong way, guys. It needs to go straight down. Okay. There's not going to be anything left by the time I get done with it. There's that. And then we'll cut right. Border sticker on the corner pocket, corner pocket, and then that sticker. Okay, and then I had to cut him down just a hair. And we can do what we did on the 4x4 albums also, and just use like a piece of ephemera for a tuck spot and not mat the page. But I think what we'll end up doing is maybe doing some quilting for pages, which is using up all the strips that I have, which I definitely have a lot of strips, paper strips. So that'll be fun. Okay, and then on the back, I originally had this paper, but I don't think I want that. Let's look for... he's not quite big enough. Let's introduce some of the black paper here. I don't have a lot, but we will use what we have. This side, or we can use this side, or we can just use black cardstock, which I'm thinking we could probably use a little break. Let's go with that. That will be a nice break from the patterns. And then we can also put a mat here. And we'll still, oops, we'll still punch it because I have that right here. Okay, nice break in the pattern, but let's look to see if we have a sticker we can add. I do like this little gold sticker here. And we'll just add that to the top. It's just a little decorative piece. And then on this one, we're going to do like a little double pocket. So first we're going to put this on, which is about 2 inches. And we only have to distress on 3 sides because the bottom side will be covered. And then we're going to add 2 little pockets. Dry fit, make sure they fit. I did my calculations right. We're gluing on 3 sides, both the flaps and then the bottom. Make sure you don't go over that crease, that fold. Okay, again here. And then we're going to mat these separate. You could just do one big line, but I like them matted separate so you can tell that there's two different pockets. Of course, once we stick the tags in, you'll be able to tell, but this one has more dark red on it, so we're putting it on the bottom. Kind of heavier, I guess. And this one here. Okay, and then I do have some tags left. Some ephemera pieces. But I think these are 4 inches, so they're going to be too big. So let's make, oh, that would be really nice right there. He's a little big. But that would be nice too. I'm going to put this here. Now that I see it, we're going to just glue down 3 sides. Or 2 sides. So you can put something in there. I really like that. Okay, we'll make some tags. And when I put that paper in there, I felt it was kind of loose. So let's make like little booklet tags. They can be 3 inches by 3 inches. So we'll do 6 by 3. And then we score them in half at 3 inches. Oh, I don't like them that they're square. We're going to come down to 2.5. Not like that. And then we're going to take our angle punch and we have little tags. And I can find my heart. And line that up in the middle, put a dot where I want the punch, and let's see if this old punch will go through this many layers of cardstock. Oh yeah, he did it. Okay, so tags. Beautiful. Okay, that's a good page. And then, because I said we were running low on our paper, we're going to put a pocket here. So this one is 4 inches. Ends up being 4 inches by 3.5. And then that's page 1 or page 1 and 2, depending on how you want to look at it. No, this is page 1, or the back of page 1 too. And then we're going to end this video. So as I glue this all down, head on over to asccraftsupplies.com. Use Scrapping Posh 10 for 10% off your normal price purchase. There's also an Etsy store, ASC Supplies on Etsy, and you can use that one too, but they're in the process of moving all the inventory over to the other store because Etsy is not playing nice with others, you know? Okay, so far everything is red. I do have some yellow left, but not a lot because I did that whole yellow album. So maybe we'll get one yellow page out of this. Don't know for sure. That one's not big enough. Wasn't going in there for a second. There we go. And do I don't have a tag quite big enough, so we'll wait to see if maybe we get a paper. And just check out the stickers to see if we have anything that we can use here. Maybe something across here. I think we'll leave that for now. Maybe later. And they still have the ephemera pieces left too. So, alright. That is that part of the album. Head on over to ASC Supplies on Etsy or asccraftsupplies.com. Use Scrapping Posh 10 for 10% off your normal price purchase. And come back and hang out with me. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.